Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching Superman and Lois, Season 1, Episode 6, Broken Trust. The last episode, Tag was back and not very happy. Everything's stressful. Luthor's here. Morgan Edge is still going for it. Thank you so much, Drill, for sponsoring this stressful show. But I love this family and the way they're portraying them, and I'm excited to see where it goes next. Let's go. Fucking hell.
Try to outrun me.
Look at that uniform.
Tag, I don't know what.
Fucking hell.
You better tell me how to fix it.
Okay.
Superman, I'm not gonna hurt you. Wait! Are you okay? Are you okay?
How did he escape? And he's clearly not being treated well if he's this upset. Though I suppose being ripped away from your home you would be upset. Oh god, don't go for the train! He knows Superman will stop the train and save the lives. Tag, what has happened to you? And the train just carries on like nothing happened. Thanks to good old Superman. And there's someone on the loose that knows Jordan has powers.
This wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for Morgan Edge. Whatever gave Tag those powers came from those mines, and now he wants to extract more of it and make more
I think
powers. What if you went?
I think what happened to Tag would have happened regardless. Like, the stuff is in the area. I don't think Morgan had done it, right?
I can't see inside.
So I need to investigate. Find proof of wrongdoing.
Not with a creepy man that's appeared out of nowhere who doesn't seem creepy in the slightest, okay?
No, I want.
You okay?
Yeah, it's just a headache.
No, it's hearing.
You promise you're 100% healthy.
Yeah.
Totally good to go.
Broken trust.
Okay. Yeah.
You were fooled by a man with a lot of money he can throw around.
Back on their feet, I cannot thank you enough.
Well, the Smallville team needs a strong leader. And I'd like to fill that role with you, Lana.
Oof.
With me?
He thought he wanted it.
It just shows me you're not just...
I don't know what to say.
Well, when you see a new starting salary, you'll say yes.
Money doesn't buy everything, sir.
What can she do?
Skulk. Look angry. Until she finds you out. You need to tell your father the truth. Oh god. You have got to tell your dad the truth, okay? They're good brothers.
Jordan, if this has to do with your superpowers, then you need to tell Dad.
We need to refer to it as like, with your elephant.
What's wrong? We can't tell Dad, all right? Jordan, you need to tell him.
This is more important than a football game.
Jordan, John, let me have this.
Sweetheart, this is more important than a football game. I get what it means to you. But if you can deal with your powers and prove to everybody that you are an intelligent, smart young man, I mean intelligent about your own safety and being safe, and then next year you'll still be on the freaking football team and you can show them then.
They made my life hell. Just let me shut them up. Just this once.
If there's a danger, you will shut them up permanently, sweetheart, because you cannot control your abilities. Or you'll have a freak out on the field and then they'll laugh at you even more.
Changing lives, babe.
I do think he is just bought into it, Klein and Singer, but he's been conned.
If I'm getting this promotion, isn't that a win for both of us?
It is and it isn't.
Asking you to trust me.
I mean, why should they, to be fair?
You know what I should do is
But Kyle is an idiot.
get a restraining order put on with a buddy of mine who hadn't worked in 8 months. He's got mouths to feed, Lois. And right now, Edge is the only person that's getting.
And when Edge gets him killed down the line, you're going to be able to live with that?
He's helping, but he has
No, he is helping.
Ulterior motives, it's worth considering. Because, I totally get why Kyle is reacting this way. I think he's been trying to protect this town for a long time, and it's also his pride is definitely a part of it. I can see, and Lois does just seem like some busybody, big shot who thinks she's this all-important reporter. We know she is a brilliant reporter, but from his perspective, coming and trying to make trouble and trying to take away this good thing from this town that desperately needs it, and she doesn't have a clue. But I think he needs to stop and think that if there is even the tiniest, 1% chance that Edge does have ulterior motives and is abusing the people of Smallville and is using them and is going to hurt them in the long run, if that turns out to be the case, he will be directly responsible for. I mean, it would be Edge, but he'll be the one who welcomed Edge in and introduced him to everybody and made it seem like this wonderful ideal. It will destroy him. Both, I do believe he would be destroyed, like as in like, oh my god, how did I let this happen to people I care about? And also like his reputation, everything will be gone. And most importantly, the people that he cares about so much, and I do believe he does care about, will have suffered.
This is our chance to help. I'm sorry, Lois.
She gonna take the promotion and then she'll see something she shouldn't? I mean, I also think potentially letting a reporter break into the mine is not good because it could cost them their jobs. It could even, I mean, billionaires are notoriously lunatics. So he could be like, oh, I'm going to withdraw everything from Smallville and move elsewhere, because it would not hurt his pocket to do so.
Somehow supposed to crack this in half?
Nope. Just punch it.
Look at the little handprints.
You trust me?
I have a plan to put this monster back in his cage.
He's not a monster, Sam. He's a kid.
He's a hurt child.
Helping. He attacked my grandson.
Because he's terrified. Like, yes, I'm not saying give him a big lollipop and a pat on the back, you did good today, but he's still a kid.
Estimated him once. I don't have time to worry about feelings. I need to incapacitate a threat. That's what I'm gonna do.
By incapacitate, you mean knock out temporarily, right?
Getting us up.
Your dad, he's trying.
I can watch Sophie.
He's trying to.
But what about the game?
You do deserve all the karma you're getting.
I just don't think it's a good thing when it's coming from Edge.
Maybe this is...
Why is he creeping on her? Because he knows she's close to Jordan. Jesus Christ. Imagine you turn up to a high school football game and there are army men everywhere. I mean, I get why and I'm thankful.
Okay? Now look, I want you to go in there and you knock him on his backside. You got that?
How would anyone believe he was capable of this? That's what I just think is like, it's blurring the lines of believable.
I mean, I know our plays, I know their defense, I got this, okay?
He just tries to prove himself.
Strong right slot, Z Panther on 3.
Got it.
Let's go!
Oh, I want Jonathan to do well. Well done, babies. Jordan is using...
Hey! Jordan! Get over here.
Yep, he used way too much strength.
Hey, you can't play a survey.
Alright, go ahead. Alright, cool. Thanks, man.
See, Lois? Look how easily he deceives and manipulates people.
Stick up for people.
Oh, fuck. She just shut that door in his face. I get why. She's looking after her sister and he's freaking out. Her sister, sorry. Jesus Christ. Just breathe, Jordan, breathe. It's okay. You're okay.
Jordan, you okay?
Really good time.
Oh my lord.
Well, good. Because,
Where are the girls?
I don't know what Jeep.
Of course you should be rewarded for that. He's an idiot if he can't see.
Well, he is not an idiot.
Yeah, no, he's a monster.
He promoted you after all, right?
His family is kind of getting back on track and I just feel like it's not going to go well.
I'm real proud of you.
Given that Edge is hinged on so much of it.
You are the
So much of it is hinged on
family
Edge.
After all.
Where are your daughters? Could you just check on them for me?
Happy. No.
She's been abducted.
It's not like Sarah to just leave.
I'm gonna check the security cam footage.
Oh, they have camera footage inside their house?
Fine.
No, you're not.
Had a moment, all right? Jordan,
Oof.
that's not 100% true.
He cares about you.
He needs to know. Look,
Jonathan is looking out for you.
But you get to grow up and you get to be Superman. Who am I?
You're gonna learn, my darling. You're
I'm a weird
14.
kid with headaches. I'm not you, okay?
No. But you could have hurt someone and outed yourself in some awful way, okay?
Well, points to you and your friend.
Oh, it's
Grand
wrong.
prize is Did I get that right? Feels like I should be focusing my story on you.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
The, story.
Both of them are stories.
These walls. Where's form of kryptonite?
We are getting answers here.
Launch is right.
Too bad no one's gonna read it.
Jesus Christ, Superman's gonna be busy tonight.
Still scanning copies, General.
Jordan, you're not like mad at me, are you?
No,
They are
just a little tired of being told what to do. That's all.
they're brothers, and it's hard. Like, I think what I love is that these two brothers, they are very different from each other, but they love each other so clearly, and they look out for each other as much as they can, and then they butt heads as well because they are brothers.
Yeah. Obviously, my pop said we gotta stay here, so. He did.
All right. It's not like we're going clubbing. Liquor store's just up the street.
They're good boys,
All right, you know what? We want a big game.
and he wants to stop being told what to do.
Come on.
He's been getting drunk before.
Come on.
Lois, this is the man that has been after your husband.
Tag, slow down.
I think it was caught on camera. All I want is to show you.
Oh fuck. Is she gonna see? Though it might be quite nice if somebody else knows.
I think he did something. That's what made me this way.
Oh dear.
It's crazy, Sarah, but it's true. Maybe you can help me.
I don't know anything.
Don't run.
Oh lord.
Oh, we used to be friends, but guess that's over now, huh? So what? Came
Why are
in to
you
talk
ever
about how
friends
it
with
feels
its
to lose?
douches?
You juicing something there, Jojo? Is that what's going on? You juicing Jojo? Huh?
This is all terrible. Everyone isn't.
I need you.
But right now, we need to leave. The DOD is coming for you. I need you to trust me.
I would trust Superman over the DOD any day of the week.
Jordan. Relax.
Oh.
On the ground now! We will fire! No! Stop! Take him out!
Fucking hell. Holy fuck! He restrains himself. He's not going to fire on you, even if you fire on him. Sarah has seen a lot. This is going to really help her mental state.
Those won't be necessary.
It's a scared, hurting
You're not
kid
gonna be alone anymore.
with a lot of...
Subject's back in custody. Let's take this as a win.
His name is Tag.
I wish I had your trust in people. I really do.
He's the same age as your
Put
grandsons.
me in a bad position. My job is to protect the American people by any means necessary.
Yes, and Tag is an American person.
And now I know.
Superman.
Hey,
You fucked up.
hey! And while you are in Smallville, because I don't buy that you came to write a story.
Please tell her, actually. Please tell
I
her.
can't tell you why I'm really here. I am trying to prevent something bad from happening.
And it's not fucking Clark.
How bad? I'm on my way.
Is it going to affect
Continued.
Jonathan's, like, playing? Like, did it shatter his arm? Like, is it going to affect his future chances playing football once it heals?
Off in 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. Right, after he did really well in a good game.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Just shut up, please.
Just fucking lucky it wasn't that kid's face. He'd be dead right
You know
now.
I never. I have a broke ass arm, and I'm probably never gonna play quarterback again. So thanks. Thanks a lot.
There are more important things than quarterback, but I know it matters to you a lot.
I'm going to bed.
And the strength of that punch probably would have killed that kid. Yes, the kid was a douchebag, but if it was enough to break his brother's arm, I mean, I know it was kind of the angle and being punched like, ugh. You saved your brother from a much worse fate there, Jonathan. I'm proud of you.
Things are different now.
Yeah, I know. I know they're different.
Do you? Because you made a big point at the hotel of saying you're
Sweetheart.
different from me. I have those feelings too.
This is what you need to be.
Yes.
Let your kids see all of you.
But I keep them in check.
Go get some sleep. We can talk about this more tomorrow.
He's not going to get much sleep on this feelings, but I'm glad they made sure he was aware that, like, we're not like, we don't think you were like, oh, I'm gonna go break my brother's arm, or any even the fight. You were emotional. You're
Confused.
he
He's
is.
so young. He's not ready for this.
You take the
Probably not
things
the
you're
best time to tell
given.
you I almost got killed tonight.
What?
I changed my mind with the help of the. I need to figure out who he is and what
You
he
do.
has on Morgan Edge.
Things are going great. But I'm glad again she wasn't like, oh, it was a big night for him, I won't tell him this, because that happens in so many shows.
Showed me this video from the night of the bonfire.
Is he gonna tell her?
He had this whole theory that even if there was something, you could tell me, right?
It's bigger than just him and his life.
Okay.
She's gonna be suspicious
How are
now.
you doing?
Has these special abilities. He's not sure how he got them, but clearly this has something to do with those minds.
Yes.
Lois, what aren't you telling me?
Tell her now, she knows too much.
I haven't put it all together yet. Are you sure you want to do that? He is very dangerous.
This puts her at odds with her husband, but it's
From
proof.
hurting other people? Yes. To keep this between us for now.
Okay.
Two very different marriages. But I mean, their marriage is in the middle of healing, and this is not gonna help.
I don't know how to fix this.
It's not an easy fix, sweet boy. It's slow and steady.
I hurt John. Bad.
You did. You didn't mean to, but you did. It's a mixed up feeling to deal with.
I can still hear his bone snapping. I think some stupid part of me actually thought that the powers would bring me closer to people, but all they really do is bring me farther away.
They do, but they'll bring you closer to certain people in the future. You're a little baby and you're growing up and it's hard.
Jordan?
Oh my god.
I have to get into the fortress.
Yes, quick, hurry. How dare you end the episode there? That was a very stressful ending to that episode. I love the way this show is centered in family and families and community, and then you have the Superman exploits and you have the big bads and the villains, and Lois is just a central part of that as Clark. Like, obviously it's called Superman and Lois, but you could still see a show being called that and being just about Superman flying around saving people. I love how this show has been put together. I can see why it's got the praise it has. So in this episode, we definitely are really beginning to see the strain of everything and the things that could cause this perfect tight family unit to come apart. Because Jordan, for a while there, he was kind of riding a little bit on cloud nine. Like, I've got these powers, and okay, yeah, I'm not going to be Superman 2.0, although he still could. They seem to be growing. I'm not going to be Superman 2.0, but I can play football and be super good at it and be a popular kid. You know, have friends, not be bullied, not have to worry about that kind of thing. And there was a girl he liked, and yeah, she asked for some time, but you know, they're close, and things were going great for him, but he's realising that life isn't perfect. And I think in a lot of ways, you can kind of view what's happening with him as kind of like a metaphor for things that we all go through in our lives. Yes, the rest of us do not develop superpowers, but you go through stages, you find a group of people where you really fit in with them, and then you realise you don't, and all sorts of things. You find that you're really good at the flute, and there's an orchestra that needs a flautist, and I mean, that is not a good example. I can't think of a life-like example, but you know, kids, it's a struggle growing up and figuring out who you are, and that it can be a struggle that can last throughout your whole life. But Jordan has a family that loves him, and more than anything, I'm so thankful that we see such good parenting from Clark and Lois, because they don't always get it right, they're not always perfect, but every single decision with their boys is made from a place of love. They make sure that their child knows they love them, and that they are not being like, you are an evil kid, how could you hurt your brother? They're like, we know you didn't mean to, we know it was an accident, but you do have to face that you did it. And I think it's just, parenting itself is such a difficult job, and it's so hard to do it right, and of course almost every parent wants to do it right. But I really love the way we're seeing them handle this, because it is such an impossible situation. Your kid gets superpowers. He was not remotely prepared for this. You were not really prepared for this. How do you cope with it? And the fact that they're growing abilities, he's not entirely, I mean, growing, developing, I mean, maybe this is an ability, maybe this is like a Kryptonian brain tumor or something, and I'm stressed. The whole, you know, definitely the minute the the lads came around being like, let's go get beers. You could definitely need Jordan is going to go. And if Jordan goes, Jonathan will go. And obviously Jonathan, I think if Jordan had been like, oh, I'm staying here, Jonathan would have stayed. But I also think Jonathan was having a very nice time before the idiots came up. It's not like he was like, oh, I'm only here for my brother. And of course the fight ensuing. Now, I do think Jonathan saved that kid's life. Because, like, the force of that punch, Jordan was not holding back. And of course, and I'm not, kind of like I think they articulated in the show, I'm not blaming him because he is a child. He is dealing with these emotions he can't control. He is experiencing superpowers, and it's not fair. It's not fair that he has to double think this. I mean, in general, I don't think anybody should go around punching because one punch can kill even if you're not superpowered. But it's not fair that he has this extra pressure and responsibility on him to every second of every day constantly watch himself and make sure he doesn't shake that person's hand too hard and make sure, you know, that isn't fair, but it is the hand he's been dealt. And I think that is a metaphor for so many different aspects of life. You know, you can get a chronic illness, you can get all sorts of injuries and things, and it's not fair, but you have to learn to deal with it. And I do think if that puncher connected with that boy's face, there would be a manslaughter charge, if not murder charge, on Jordan's on feet, or at least like severe brain injury or something. And as it is, he only hurt his twin brother. And that is something that's going to live with both of them because they do love each other. There is no rivalry there. And I like the fact that this show doesn't have a rivalry there because there so often is. You've got like the popular jock brother and the geeky bullied brother. It would be so easy for them to have been fighting their whole lives and hating each other. Now, of course, they will have fought and they have fought in this show, but the core of this family is love, and I absolutely adore that. This is going to be a trying thing. You know, we had that moment in the game where Jonathan was able to say, like, put me on, coach, I can do it. And then he did it. And he was able to do his thing as quarterback, to prove he was a capable quarterback, to prove he could do it, and maybe earn himself a spot on the team, maybe make it so that the next time the coach thinks, oh yeah, you, Kent, come. And instead, he's got an injury, he's on the bench, he was making progress, and now he's back to square one. And, you know, the doctor saying he might get full motion back. That's a pretty severe break. It looked like it when it happened. If he doesn't get full motion in his arm back, that is a hugely damaging and affecting thing in his life. That will affect all sorts of career opportunities in the future that he may or may not have. And again, he will be able to have a perfectly fulfilling life, but it is a huge thing that happened beyond just your brother being the one that caused it to you. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they interact going forwards, because we've always seen them, they come from such a place of love. They support each other and then they tell on each other when it's what helps. And I think they're doing a really good job of handling this family in a way that I think is both a realistic family while also being a really loving and supportive family. I'm worried about Jordan, obviously. I mean like his mental state, not his literal collapsing state. I'm worried about that as well, because he's dealing with a lot, and I think it's hard for anyone who is a good person. If you hurt someone you love, whether you mean it or not, realizing you've done it is awful, but you can't shy away from it. You can't be like, oh, it was an accident, therefore it's not my fault. You can, you know, I think they reassured him that we all know it was an accident. Nobody in this house is thinking, my God, what a monster. He hurt his brother on purpose. But you still did cause that pain, and even if it was an unintentional pain, there's something in life you have to learn to deal with. It's the fact that if you cause somebody else pain, it's not up to you to say, oh well, it doesn't really matter. And I'm not, Jordan wasn't ever saying that, but it is a big deal for him to cope with, and for him to cope with the fact that his emotions could get the better of him at any point in his life, and it's going to be a long life. Whatever's fucking happening right now is nothing. And he will get through it, just like Clark got through it, just like we saw Clark dealing with it in this episode. You know, these people that he's fought for, protected, fought alongside, worked for, missed key moments of his children's lives to fight with, shot at him with kryptonite, like when they were trying to kill a child. Of course he was angry, but he was able to hold that anger in, because if he had lasered those soldiers, not only would he have killed people who didn't deserve to die, he would have, you know, kind of become public enemy number one. So this episode was huge in so many ways. So I'm worried about where Jordan's going to go going forwards. I do feel like they might ban him from the football team, just because we've seen that, for one thing, he can't be trusted to be honest about his developing powers and developing symptoms. We have seen that he hides it and he lies, and I say this from a place of love. He's a child. So I'm not being like, oh, he's a liar. Of course he does. He doesn't want mum and dad to stop him from doing the things he wants to do. Of course that's what he's going to do. He's a kid. But it is dangerous to both him and to people around him. And I don't know, I feel like he's in for at least as long as Jonathan can't play, it would kind of be like, you can't play either. And then if it becomes a permanent thing, we'd have to revisit that. But hopefully it won't. Hopefully it will just be like, the break will heal nicely. And then, I mean, they're babies there, like early in their high school careers. Jonathan will be quarterbacking away in no time. Another big thing this episode was Sarah. Both, I mean, my favourite thing will be old friend turns up. Friend starts shaking and going really fast. She just shut that door in his face. I think that was partly because she was freaked out and because she was babysitting her little sister. It's quite sad that they were having an actually really sweet sister like day and it got ruined, but bigger things. She saw the video. She is at least convinced enough by both the video and Tag's insistence to bring it up to Jordan. I think she will be on the lookout now for anything weird about the Kent brothers, and there are a lot of weird things going on with these boys. I think if she found out the truth, I don't think she would be like running around telling everybody, but I think she would be hurt that he didn't trust her with it. But of course he didn't trust her with it, and of course he can't trust her with it, because it's more than just, oh, I have powers. It's his dad is Superman and all the things that come with that. Not to mention it could put Sarah at risk right now. Things are fragile enough as it is all around. And, you know, I think for anyone, you're just like a normal girl from a small town and suddenly you're there, Superman appears, the military is shooting at a kid who has powers and is terrified, Superman's getting shot and then he's like threatening the people, like, stand down. That is a lot for anybody to experience, and she's quite young, so that stresses me out a little bit. I do think it's sad because I can't remember their surname, but Lana's family, they really, you feel like when we first met them, they were struggling. But we've seen both that the parents are trying. You know, I was saying for the longest time maybe separation and like couples therapy or something would be the best bet. But no, they're trying, and they are trying to be there for each other. But I do think the fact that he is so hook, line and sinker bought into Morgan Edge, and she is now beginning to consider what Lois has been saying, that could definitely cause a strain. And if Sarah starts having other things going on, worrying about a friend with powers and all of that, that could kind of cause her to pull away from her family as well. Like, I think that family was kind of healing and coming together, and things may pull them apart. I do really like how they kind of juxtapose the two families, because in both families there is a lot of love. It isn't like when we cut to Lois's family, Kevin, is that his name? Her husband. I want to call him Kevin. If he's not Kevin, I'm sorry. Kevin is like an abusive dick or anything. He's not. He's a bit of a dick. But like, you know, he is someone that cares about his community and cares about his family. He just doesn't always go about it the right way, and he drinks a bit much. But as a family, we're kind of seeing them fight to come together, and I worry about that they might get pulled apart. Lois, she knows about the ex-Kryptonite. That is huge information for us. Like, we know kind of now how he's bringing about these powers. We're getting more and more info on Edge, and she knows, at least now, she's not going to be just blindly trusting. I mean, not that Lois was ever blindly trusting this man, but he is very persuasive, and I was worried that he would be able to kind of convince her to trust him. Thank God he doesn't know. Of course he doesn't know he's Clark Kent, because I guess in his world he was like raised in a government lab or something that turned him into like a psychopath. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see, because obviously he has this enduring connection to her in that in his world they were in love. He's not going to readily hurt Lois, and if he were to ever come clean to her and say, look, on my world Superman was evil and he murdered people and he killed the planet and I'm here to stop him, if she were to say, but I can guarantee to you on this earth that is not the case, would he listen to her? Or would he be even more rage-filled when he found out his enemy was married to his love? But it's going to be interesting. I'm just glad that she knows there's something more to him than meets the eye, and I'm excited to see where this show goes next. And I'm very stressed about Jordan, but I'm trying not to think about it too much. It's all going to be fine. Thank you so much, Jarell, for sponsoring, and thank you for watching.